Hello students, this video is part 1 of the topic Curriculum Reforms in Science Education. The word curriculum can be defined as a course of study that will enable the learner to acquire specific knowledge and skills. That means whatever is advocated in teaching learning is called curriculum. It can be advocated either in school environment or outside, as overt curriculum or hidden curriculum, in a broader notion or in a narrower aspect of content. The word reform means to reshape, to reconfigure, or to make a difference. Reformers hope that their reforms will bring improvement, but the main concern is whether the reforms brought about in past 50 years have carried out any improvement or not. Before we try to study about the reforms, we will try to understand what type of science curriculum is said to be a valid curriculum. According to NCF 2005, good science education is one that is true to learner, true to life, and true to science. Thus, it should meet the following criteria for validity. The science curriculum should have cognitive validity. That is, the content, language, and activities of science curriculum should be according to the age and within the cognitive reach of the learner. For example, the basic concepts of cell have to be taught before introducing the cell organelles. The science curriculum should have content validity. That is, the science curriculum must include the content which is simple and gives significant information. The science curriculum should have process validity. That is, the science curriculum should engage the learners in learning methods and processes which lead to the development of curiosity and creativity in science. It helps the learner in learning to learn science. The science curriculum should have historical validity. That is, the science curriculum should include the information about the past inventions and discoveries which led to the present concepts of science and how these concepts influence the society at large. The science curriculum should have environmental validity. That is, the science curriculum should focus on local and global environmental issues and how science plays a major role in solving environmental problems. The science curriculum should have ethical validity. That is, the science curriculum should promote the values of honesty, objectivity, cooperation, and freedom from fear and prejudice, and inculcate the learner a concern for life and preservation of environment. After knowing about the criteria for a valid curriculum, let us look at the status of present science curriculum. Today, science is taught as an integration of physics, chemistry, and biology at secondary school level. At senior secondary level, science is taught as a separate disciplines of physics, chemistry, and biology. The syllabus at secondary level focuses on themes like food materials, the world of living, moving things, people and ideas, and natural resources, etc. When we have to study about the reforms in science curriculum, first we should try to know the need for reforms in science education. The committee which constituted to outline National Curriculum Framework 2005 remarks on science education as, looking at the complex scenario of education in India, 3 issues stand out unmistakably. First, science education is still far from achieving the goal of equity enshrined in our constitution. Second, science education in India, even at its best, develops competence but does not encourage inventiveness and creativity. Third, the overpowering examination system is basic and the fundamental problems of science education in India. The committee recommended various suggestions on science curriculum, pedagogy, content, examination, teacher training processes, etc. The rationale for reforms is as follows. The purpose of science education in schools is to provide experiences through which young people can acquire the knowledge, skills, and attitudes that lead to patterns of acceptable behavior. The facts, principles, and theories of science are used to explain the physical world. It is a fact that science is an ever-expanding knowledge sphere. Many of the established universal laws are subject to change based on new observations and experiments. Science is also equated to technology. Technology employs the various principles of science. The relation between nature of science and technology help us in formulating the vision of science education. To attain the experiences mentioned in the rationale, the science curriculum has to work towards the attainment of the following goals. To create functional understanding of the body of science, to develop skills which are essential to cope with problems students face in future life, to develop manipulative skills in order to adapt to a new situation. Whether all students continue their career in science or not, they need to be informed about the basic scientific knowledge. In order to achieve the goals of bringing about reforms in science curriculum, it is needed to formulate objectives in a stage-wise manner. These objectives should take into consideration the general aims of education, developmental stages of children, the nature of knowledge, and the child's socio-political context. Formulation of objectives can be done at the state and district level, and the schools can reorganize as per their children and teachers. The Ministry of Human Resources Development, in its new Education Policy 2016, drafted the priorities and mechanisms to push India's education system. In line with this, national education standards have been developed based on certain principles, which we will study in detail. The first principle is science in our schools must be for all students. According to this principle, all students, regardless of age, sex, cultural or ethnic background, disabilities, aspirations or interest and motivation in science, should have the opportunity to attain high levels of scientific literacy. It is a known fact that all students are not alike. They have different learning styles and different levels of achievements. But all should be provided with multiple experiences over several years to develop understanding of science. The next principle is learning science is an active process. That means science should be learned by doing, where students observe, experiment, infer and discuss. They should not be passive listeners. The methods of problem solving, decision making and group discussions should be encouraged. The next principle is school science reflects the intellectual and cultural traditions that characterize the practice of contemporary science. That means science curriculum must reflect the intellectual characters of scientific inquiry, logical argument and critical thinking. At the same time, it should also reflect how science can contribute towards cultural development. The last principle is improving science education is part of systemic education reform. That means even though science education aims are formulated at national level, the task of achieving these goals is at state and local levels. Therefore, national and local efforts complement each other with many components like students and teachers, schools, textbooks, parents, scientists, engineers, science museums, business, industry, and legislators. On the whole, whatever reforms are planned, no reform can succeed unless the teachers are empowered to bring about the reform. Therefore, in my next video, I will explain the reforms in designs and materials in science and about recent curricular reforms at national and state level. Thank you.